What's up, guys? Orbital Bacon here. Welcome to the live stream. Thanks to everyone for already showing up. I've already got a good number of people in here. Alexander, what's up? Shadow Fighter Hill. Bumblebee's still after me, huh? Oh boy. Lantern Productions, welcome to the stream. I've never seen behind the scenes of stop motion. Well, sorry, screen just went blank here. Yeah, I was trying this out just to see how it would work to kind of edit some stop motions live and see how I add the effects in and do stuff like that. My screen just went blank. Bear with me, guys. Yeah, check out Lanner after this. Crossover, what's up? Alright, sorry about the little hiccup there. Thundercat, welcome, buddy. Hoist in Hollywood. I'm sorry, Malik, man. You know I was just playing around. I'm not gonna mess with Bumblebee. No, I'm editing Combiner Wars tonight, so I'll take it easy on B. Phantom, welcome back. Alright, so what I'm working on right now is Combiner Wars, the finale for Swagwave's channel. I've already been editing some of this. I was doing some in a couple streams ago. And so right now it's kind of in the middle of a big gunfight, as you can see here. So I've just been adding in various laser blasts as the fight goes on. Back this up a little bit and see exactly where I am. Which combiner team is that on the screen? I believe they're called the Breast Force. They form Leo Kaiser. Never seen an editing stream. Yeah, it's I've seen a couple people do it. That's kind of what gave me the idea. I've seen pre-recorded behind the scenes things. I mean, they put those on DVDs sometimes, where they show how special effects were done or things like that. But because, you know, live streaming has become more popular recently, and I saw a couple people editing, just, you know, talking to their subscribers while they were editing, and I thought, well, that's a good idea, because a lot of people ask, like, how do you do certain effects, or, you know, what software do you use? So I thought, hey, I'll get some work done while answering people's questions, and they can kind of see it behind the scenes, what goes into all this stuff. Okay, honest, the bacon is very crisp today. Thank you, sir. Do stop motions have whatever frames like a movie has FPS? Yes, Lanner, they actually do. There's two ways that you can affect the frame rate. There's the actual pictures when you're taking the pictures during the stop motion. You can take anywhere. I mean, you can take whatever number you want, but as far as to get like smooth movement, I would say you need at least take 10 frames, at least, for movement to get it looking smooth. And then I composite the shots in 30 frames because a lot of the effects that I'm adding in have 30 frames. And sometimes I'll use frame blend or motion blur. People refer to it as different things sometimes. And you know, kind of smooth out the animation. So yeah, it does. It's very much like traditional animation as far as frame rates and stuff like that. Just popping in for a sec while I'm on break. Hey, what's up, All Hail Megatron? Thanks for stopping in, man. I'm looking forward to doing the stream with you on Saturday. I'm gonna put a little advertisement out for that. Try to give people more advance notice this time. But yeah, just anyone who's in here now, All Hail Megatron 1000, he'll be joining me Saturday, much like Swagwave did. So we'll be talking about some of his stop motions and stuff. It'll be fun. Now that I know how to do the reactions, we can actually do more reactions. Finn Motion, what's up, buddy? I've recognized you from comments on the Swagwave channel. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I'd be happy to voice act to help you out, man. Just leave a comment on one of my videos or send me a direct message. I think my email address is also in the About section on my channel here. So yeah, I'd be happy to help out. Yeah, it's a lot. The reason why it's so many layers is there's a lot of muzzle flashes, lasers flying around. Right now, I'm talking a lot, so I'm not advancing the scene very much. But it's just this kind of wide sweeping shot. Swagwave has the camera on like a little tripod that's attached to wheels, and he's just kind of moving it along. And so there's lasers flying by, there's muzzle flashes, so yeah, it's crazy. Favorite combiner team or Predacon team? You know, G1. I'm a sucker for G1. Combiner War toys aren't interesting in my opinion, because you literally have the same character. Yeah, they took advantage of using the same mold over and over, that's for sure. Panther Prime, hey, welcome to the chat, buddy. When should we expect Legacy number 30? Okay, so that's what we're going to work on after we finish up Combiner Wars here. The way it works is Swagwave will film scenes kind of as individual parts, like part 1, 2, 3, however many. It's usually around 5, give or take, total parts that I'll get for an entire stop motion video. And so right now I've got the first 3 parts of Combiner Wars. It doesn't go to the end because I've watched through the end of part 3. It definitely isn't how it ends. So he's got a couple more parts to film. But it's completely scripted out already. I'm gathering, some voice actors together for it and stuff. So it'll be done soon, and as soon as that's done, it's on to Legacy. And hopefully that answers your question as well, Alexander, that this will probably, since we're still pretty early in July, this will be out this month. The Combiner Wars will be out before the end of the month, for sure. Probably, in fact, probably be out in like a week or 2. Thanks, FinMotion. Yes, Alex, yes. All this one, since it's like the grand finale, this one is like a battle royale with all the Combiner teams. So everyone who's not dead, because I know in our series so far we have killed off some characters, some entire Combiners even. So some won't be returning, but the Combiner teams that are still alive are all going to show up here and just have a giant rumble. Thanks for stopping by, Panther. I appreciate you stopping in there. Keanu's like that thick animation. Yeah, I'm trying out some new stuff. Well, it's not necessarily new. It's just trying to add more to it here. And I've got these little lasers that I drew. Computer's lagging a little bit. Here we go. Yeah, I've got these lasers that I drew here. And I'm adding a bunch of those with, I'll show you with like the neon glow once that's turned on. Gives it this nice effect. So I'm having a bunch of these. I'm going to make them purple and orange, or maybe a shade of blue, kind of like this one. I'm undecided yet. But I remember the lasers in the old cartoon, if I remember correctly, were purple and orange. So I kind of want to go with that. Comic-Con is taking too long to get here. I know, man. I'm itching for stuff. I'm itching for some trailers. I want to see some new stuff and some new toys and everything. Lanner, usually people will just put out casting calls on their YouTube channel, or you can go to various websites like what was it called? It's like, um, I'm blanking out right now. Let me pull up. It's on my phone. Hold on here. Because there's these websites where voice actors will go and people will post their casting calls. Wow, I can't believe I'm just completely blanking on it. Casting Call Club. There we go. I was like, what does the other C stand for? Casting Call Club. Yeah, what an endorsement that was. That that website, it has a bunch of voice actors where you can post your project and they can submit auditions, or if you on your YouTube channel, if you want to make a video just describing that you're holding open auditions and what you're looking for, give descriptions for the characters so people can try out. Oh, I'm missing some questions here. Sorry, guys. So in this series, there's both regular area. Yeah, I don't know if that's just because of the mold reuse, but I do notice that's a great question, especially right here with the G2 symbol on his chest. That's probably what the case is just the G1 and the G2. They're like separate characters, I'm assuming is how Swagwave did it. Being honest, I'm not that familiar with all these Transformers series and such. However, I do watch these series. I'm a big fan of MCU as it's going on. Thank you, FinMotion. I'm glad you like that. Yeah, I'm kind of all over the place. I mean, I like the Transformers stuff that we do. I like Marvel. I'm a big fan of Kamen Rider, so I got that. I got a couple of stop motions of that. Swagwave agreed to do. We also do Ninja Turtles. I'm excited to get back to that soon. Dragon Ball, that's some fun stuff. But the cool thing about it is that all these techniques can be used across all of them. It just depends on what style you want the effects to look. Like for Transformers and Dragon Ball, I usually go with a more cartoony looking style for the visual effects. Whereas with the Marvel stuff, I try to do more realistic looking effects. Also, any of your figures fell over anything halfway through a shot? Yeah, see, Swagwave animates most of the stuff, or all the stuff really. He films it and then sends it to me to do the effects. But I have done my own stop motions, and yes, it's a nightmare if something falls over or you bump the table or something. You guys see the pictures of Power of the Prime, Repugnus, and Punch? Yeah, I saw Punch Counterpunch. I mean, Repugnus looks cool and everything, but when I saw Punch Counterpunch, I was like, oh, he looks really cool. I'm digging that figure. Well, thanks for stopping in, FinMotion. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Emerald Prime, hey, how's it going? Is it true that Prowl is a mini Magnus and Optimus has a secret stash of jokes? Optimus has things you've never seen. You don't even know. Who's Leo fighting? So Leo is fighting. So we've got the Autobot teams here. I believe it's the Technobots, and it looks like the G2 aerial bots, which form the limbs of Skyrain. You know how in the Combiner Wars line, Skylynx was made into a torso for the to make a combiner, and so we're using the G2 aerial bots as the limbs for Skyrain, and then you can kind of see in the background one of the Technobots there. So that's who Leo Kaiser is fighting against right now. But in an earlier scene I was editing, the Predacons have awoken on I believe on Cybertron. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be on Cybertron or just another location on Earth. But the Constructicons were digging them up, and yeah, it's on Cybertron. And the Constructicons were digging them up and awoke the Predacon Combiner team, and they basically wiped out the Constructicons, and they're on their way to join this battle right now. So I'm just kind of going through here. I wanted to have a lot of crossfire with the lasers kind of flying. You can see here I'll slowly advance the scene. And you can see, now right now I don't have the lasers glowing because it slows things down when I try to do these, you know, like playing through the shot. That would, like that laser right there would have slowed the thing down. But as you can see, as it, I like this shot right here because it looks like this guy's barely dodging it. Like he's like, whoa, boom, doesn't matter. Explosions when Michael Bay on it. And that explosion is taking too long to move out of the shot. I need to move that thing. See, that's stuff I have to, this is the stuff I have to deal with. Alright, let me catch up with the chat. I don't want to get behind with you guys. Lady Quays. Optimus is thicker than a dump truck. Talking to you, long haul. Have you and Swag been interested in doing projects like He-Man or Thundercats? See, I'm all about doing some other stuff. I know that the main focus of Swagway's channel has been Marvel and Transformers for the longest time, and we've recently branched out into things like Dragon Ball. We did a Godzilla stop motion, we did a Predator stop motion, a couple of Kamen Rider stop motion, and after a while, you know, when you've worked on things for so long, it's kind of nice to branch out. So I would absolutely love to try, especially I've never done a Thundercats or He-Man, anything related as far as like doing those effects. I would love to try out and replicate like the old 80s cartoon kind of jerky motion of the lightning and energy. I remember it was real like jittery, like you know, lightning everywhere. I would love to try to recreate that. It would be a lot of fun. You and Swag should do some crossover stuff. Imagine Back to the Future and Doctor Who. Yeah, see, crossover things seem to be catching on because I know, like in comic books, there's been a ton of official crossovers now, like Batman and Ninja Turtles, Justice League, and Power Rangers. So yeah, I would love to do some crossover stuff. Let's see. Also very excited because I'm always up at night watching stop motion. Yeah, that's why I'm always like up at night watching random stuff. I like to get ideas for you know, action scenes and effects and stuff. So do you draw all these effects or do you buy them from an effects site? A little bit of both. Battle frame. So for instance, this spark, right, like I didn't draw these sparks, you know, that was a pre-rendered thing that we buy from sites. And yes, some of them, or a lot of them actually, you do have to buy. But I drew this laser. Not that it's that impressive, like, ooh, it's like a warped trapezoid. But but I mean, I'll draw the lightsabers. I've drawn some energy blasts, like in the Iron Doom, the Iron Man versus Iron Doom stop motion. Those energy blasts that Iron Doom was firing from his hands and from those portals that he opened beneath War Machine and Iron Man, I drew those. So like I'll draw simple stuff, but when it's something complex like an explosion or lightning or something, I'll usually use one of the purchase. I mean, that's why we spent the money on them, you know. Yeah, I think everyone will have at least somewhat of a speaking line. I'm not sure that every single character will get a line in there, but we are going to have some bits of dialogue before the combiners form, and you know, but it's not going to, because this is so action heavy. the majority of the dialogue is in that opening scene I was talking about, where the Constructicons dig up the Predacons. That's where most of the dialogue's going to be, because once it gets here to this battle, it's just going to be a lot of like take cover and combine and all that kind of stuff. Then the combiners will probably have the actual combiners themselves will probably have a good bit of lines. I just need to look at the script. I haven't looked at the finalized script yet that has all the dialogue. I've just kind of gone through the outline with Swagwave. What's my favorite stop motion series? That we've worked on. It may be the Combiner Wars as far as the series goes, but I mean, there's a lot of stuff that we've just started that hasn't been going on for very long that I don't know if it counts yet. Oh, I can't wait to see the finishing episode scenes. How would Optimus feel if he knew Bumblebee has his own film? Oh, we did a stream last night, or I did a stream last night rather, but we in the chat were looking over all the Cyberverse, Transformers Cyberverse stuff, like the new character picks and bios and everything, and because Bumblebee's the main character in that, and it was kind of funny. Optimus gave his opinion there, so you'll have to you'll have to go back. Let's see, what else? Stop motion is the future. Yes, stop motion's been around forever, and it's always cool. You know, like that's the funny thing is people are still using it for, you know, advertisements, movies, everything. It's always going to be around. How do I feel about Nemesis Prime? Which version? I guess that's what I would have to ask, because if we're talking what Optimus was calling himself in the last night, I think that was kind of silly. But the actual character Nemesis Prime, the one that's usually some sort of evil clone of Optimus, and typically in the colors of black, silver, and teal, I like that Nemesis Prime. And my favorite, although I think in Robots in Disguise, the old Robots in Disguise, car robots, I think he was called Scourge. But that was my favorite one. He had like the giant shoulders. He was based off the G2 Laser Prime. Darkness, what's up, man? Will Optimus die again, knowing how much he loves dying? There's a there's a chance, but that's what I was talking about last night. Is since Optimus isn't the main character, it would almost be kind of pointless to kill him off, because it wouldn't hold much weight. There wouldn't be much point for him to be killed off. You know, it's like, what's the point? He's not even the main character. It would make much more sense if Bumblebee bit the dust. I know nobody wants to hear that, but I'm just saying, since he's the main character, that's what would make more sense. But that being said, I don't think they're going to kill off Bumblebee either. Whoops, wrong button. They'll probably end up just having Bumblebee get into like some sort of close call, because the whole story that as I've gathered from it, is that Bumblebee's trying to regain his memory, and Windblade's helping him along the way, and so he'll probably just end up being in some sort of close call at the end, right before he gets his memories back, which will probably give him like a power-up or something, and will save the day. So is there a way you could explain both origins to the Transformers in the cinematic universe? Because I'm confused. So I don't know if anybody could. I'm confused too. I don't know. All right, where's that end up going? Because that explosion is just not moving off the field of vision fast enough. I don't like it. there. At that point, it should just be gone. There we go. Alright. Take another gander at that. Yeah, that's much better. That looks like the laser is actually causing the explosion. And it moves off the screen properly this time. Alright, so that's good. Good clash of sparks. I love that. Blades is in the rescue pod, Blades? Well, no, didn't they make a one of the limbs of the Combiner Wars because they didn't release all the same Combiner teams in the same wave? Wasn't Blades one of the helicopters or something that was just randomly inserted in there? Whoa! I just realized you can see the live chat on your screen. Yeah, I try to keep something going on the screen just because sometimes I'll stop and answer questions, or if there's a particularly tedious task that I'm doing during the editing where it's not necessarily interesting looking, at least the chat's on there. I am going to be serious here. If Peter Cullen has to step down from voice acting Optimus, would you be kind enough to take his place? I mean, that is a serious compliment. That's a huge compliment. I mean, I really appreciate that. If I were lucky enough, you know, I mean, holy cow, like that's a major compliment. But of course, but he's the king. He's the legendary Dinobot king. That's another thing from Cyberverse. Oh my goodness, they had some hilarious descriptions for the characters in Cyberverse. You guys should check out the stream that I did last night, or check out the actual website and just read those bios, because some of them are pretty funny. Grimlock is described as the legendary Dinobot King. Such an awesome title. Hey Orbital, I have an idea. Third-party animated hotshot that's in scale with Toyland. Yeah, you know, I've been digging these recent third-party figures that are based off like the comic books and stuff. So I would be all for some updated animated characters, especially ones that didn't get a figure. Is Optimus Maximus back? I don't think so. He might be, because Optimus is here, but I don't know, because the figure of Optimus that's being used is actually the War for Cybertron, the Generations Optimus that was based on the War for Cybertron game. So it's not the Combiner one, the Voyager. So I don't think he has that power anymore. I'm trying to remember what happened at the end of our own episode. I can't believe how embarrassing. Battleframe Studios. I use HitFilm too. I can relate to the overwhelming amount of lag you end up making proxies for simple things that won't need it otherwise. Yeah, see, I don't know if it's because I just have so much going on as far as with the stream and the other software I have running, or if it's just HitFilm itself. It's probably just my computer, because it's starting to get old. It's a couple of years old now. So that just may be the case, but yeah, it does lag from time to time. But for free software, I can't complain. I mean, I've spent a little bit of money on the add-on packs just to get a few extra things that make certain effects easier. But the main program itself was free, so can't complain. What do you think about Power of the Primes, Leader Class Galvatron? At first he's a small Megatron, but in the evolution feature he turns into Galvatron. I'll have to check that out. I don't think I've seen that yet. See, this is another thing that I always have to go back and check. Like, that first laser blast was blue for some random reason. Kind of like how I had to go back and move the explosion. Sometimes when I'm doing this, I'm not paying attention. make mistakes. Alright, so I think it was 270. Oh, there we go. At least the... Oh, and why isn't it... Yeah, okay. I guess there was just not an extra light during the shot itself. Oh, and look, and this one's not moving properly. I guess I never finished moving this one around. My goodness. Yeah, because that's actually where the scene was when the stream started. So that is where I left off. Oh, now I'm curious. Can you do an impression of Hot Rod from the '86 film? Ah, I would need to hear Hot Rod from the '86 film. I haven't watched it in a while, and anytime I think of him, I always think of like the real cheesy lines where he's like, "Look out, mountain." I wish the Superior and Defensor was still around, but we lost Hotspot and Silverbolt. Why? Yeah, Silverbolt had to die like 3 times. Have I met any of the other voice actors of the series I've worked on? Not in person. Everything so far has been done over the internet with people who live in all sorts of different locations. Like I've worked with, or still am working with Crosshairs on Transformers Ascension, as well as the extended universe that he's got going for that. And he lives over in the UK. And you know, there's people all over the US and everything. Like Swagwave lives up several states away from me. So it's unfortunate, because it would be cool to, you know, like everybody to hang out, have some sort of cast party or something. That would be awesome. But so far, the closest thing I've come to meeting anybody is just online, as far as interacting on Facebook or Skype or Discord or anything like that. What if Punch transformed into an Aston Martin? Yeah, I mean, that car mode looks sweet though. I really like it. Is Hot Rod and Cup in the Cyberverse series? I did not see Cup, but Hot Rod, yes, is in the Cyberverse series. In fact, if I pull up the Discord window here, we were kind of there. He is with the top hat on. See if if I can find. We were kind of messing around with it here. No, that's Bumblebee. There he is. That's Hot Rod from Cyberverse right there. Speaking of Ascension, when is Season 2 of that coming? Now that's more of Season 2 of Ascension. Is completely run by Crosshairs, and he has his own team as far as the people that do the editing and stuff for him, but he does most of it himself. So I'm not quite as in the loop as far as when it's going to be ready. I know that people are still getting work done on it. The cast kind of like talks and interacts via certain online chats and everything. So I mean, he tries to keep us updated as best he can, but you know, it's a work in progress. So he'll have it done soon. I don't know an exact date, because like I can tell you a better estimation on these videos, because since I'm working on them, it's like, well, I know I'll be done in a few days. So my 80s Cybertron child is back. Yes. All right. So, yeah, we were goofing around with that. Fun times, fun times. Yeah, that's the thing about Cyberverse is there's a lot of design elements that are definitely inspired by G1, as well as some of the recent comics and even Fall of Cybertron, the games from a few years back. So I'm very excited for it. At the very least, just to check it out, to see if it's any good. I'm sorry, Malik. It's just a joke. You got the power. Are you sure? Like, there we go. That's where I want it to start. If only Bumblebee was in Combiner Wars. Did you have any bloopers when I started? I have bloopers on everything. I can't get through something without bloopers. So yes, the answer would be yes, but it will always be yes. So many bloopers. I try to delete them unless they're funny, but otherwise it's like, oh, how embarrassing. There we go. That looks better. Welcome back, everybody. Marvelous Prime. It's live. It is live. It is live. It's alive. Needs more lasers. While these guys are firing, I need lasers being fired back at them. Did you know that Crosshair sounds like Red Alert? he does. And that's awesome. No, he can do a lot of cool sounding characters. I think I'm trying to get some guys from the Crosshairs cast to voice some of these combiners. Actually, that's funny that you mentioned that. I believe Crosshairs was supposed to voice Skylynx or Skyrain, the combined form, and some of the other guys that voice some characters in Ascension are going to help out as well. So this final episode of Combiner Wars will it'll feature the cast of Ascension. Fire my laser. Yeah, there's probably gonna be some casualties in this one. Alexander, good call, buddy. Not everyone's going to make it. So many laser shots. It's weird how, because this kind of takes a while to add all these in at just the right spot, that it feels like the scene's gonna last a long time, but then when it's played back, it's like it's so fast, and it's just like do 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 do, and it's done. And I'm like, oh man, that took forever, but it's actually worth it. It's like I've said, when people have asked me in previous things, like, oh, what made you get into effects? And that's what it is I just like making cool stuff, cool looking stuff, because I like to see cool looking stuff. That's why I like watching a lot of sci-fi and action movies, because they always have stuff in there that kind of dazzles the eye. Yes, I do use artificial camera shake. Um, it makes it easier to add the effects in when Swagwave, because he used to shake the camera, like he would take a picture of like up, down, left, right, whatever, and he would just loop it in some random way and make actual camera shake, as far as how you could do it in stop motion, I guess. But once we started this process of me adding the effects in, if he has the camera moving around a lot, like you've already seen, I've had to move the explosion around and move these laser blasts around just a little bit, just because the camera's panning over. So you can imagine if it was shaking, that it would double or triple my work, just the amount of time that it would take. And even if you try to do motion tracking, it is so sporadic, especially if since I'm using I'm using this free software. It's not like top of the line. It's good, but it's not top of the line. So the motion tracking isn't perfect. And I like to try to get the stuff to, stick right on where it needs to be. So because of that, he moves the camera as little as possible, unless it's something like this where it's a big sweeping shot that he has to move the camera. And then so any panning, zooming, camera shakes, I do all that. Because I can do that after I've done the effects, and the effects will all move with the camera, so it's all in sync and easy, or easier. It's like Infinity War all over. Yeah, there's gonna be some tearful goodbyes. One thing I'm confused about is the G2 aerial bot. Yeah, a lot of people have been asking me about that. I didn't even notice it at first, because they were at first they were just the limbs for Skyrain, but now that they're being clearly seen in this battle here, it's like, oh, okay, I guess they're separate characters. Combiner Wars always has someone die. Yeah, yeah. If you've seen the previous episodes, there's always somebody. Somebody's getting exploded. Look, Mama, that combiner gonna explode. goodness. Alright. Back and forth with the lasers. I wonder how much longer this is going, because I might just be able to duplicate all these lasers and repeat them, and it could go faster. I think it was Lanner that asked earlier about if I draw the effects or use pre-rendered. Even when I use pre-rendered ones like this, I still try to change their color and mess with the blend mode so that they look, you know, kind of like they're a light source as opposed to just dropping the effect. Like this one here, since it's up close, you can kind of see I've got it on the blend mode on add, so it tries to kind of like add the color around the area as if it were a light source, whereas normally if I take that away, you see it doesn't really, even though there's still color around the scene because Swagwave used an actual purple colored light for that frame, you see a little bit too much detail of the effect. It looks flat, like almost like somebody dropped a like a sticker, you know, they put like a sticker on the picture. So when I switch it back to add, you can see that you can still see the shape of the blast just fine, but now it's got a softer edge and it looks more like a bright colored light that would actually be causing this light coloration effect that Swagwave used. So even when you're using pre-rendered effects, it's always good to mess with them a little bit, because people, you know, there's only so many sites out there and people will notice. Like here on this frame when there's not a light. Let me go back one. See, now you can really tell that it still looks really bright as opposed to that right there where it looks too much like a fake, you know, like a CG. I don't know, it looks too fake to me right there. I prefer, because a laser blast, it would be bright, it would be an actual light source, so it's still good to mess around with them. Even if you do buy the pre-rendered effects off a site, it's still good to mess around, you know, kind of try to make your own thing out of them. As well as use them for other things that they're not intended for. Like, just because it says it's a, you know, muzzle flash or repulsor blast, whatever, it can be used for something else. It could be used for an impact, or I've used the aura, the glowing aura, that a lot of people use for like Dragon Ball when they power up, which I've used as well. I used it for in our Dragon Ball stop motion, but I've also used it for like energy shock waves and stuff like that, because, you know, stuff can be used for all sorts of things. With stop motion, is every single shot planned out, scripted ahead of time, or is there room for spontaneity? For the most part, it's scripted out. We'll kind of describe, like Swagwave and I will talk on the phone or whatever, and we'll describe how the scene is going to go. So we'll have an idea. You know, like we'll work out, you know, the basic plot, and he's the one who writes all the dialogue and goes and films the figures. So when he does the choreography and sends me the clip, I have a basic idea of how it's going to go. But then when I watch the actual clip, I'm then limited within the footage. I have to, you know, even if I'm thinking, oh, it's going to be a big close-up on the fist as he's punching and it'll be like slow-mo. Well, if that footage isn't there, then that effect can't be added. So it's just kind of, there's very little room for spontaneity, really, to answer your question. But at the same time, like how he's adding in these different colored lights, it does help to give visual cues for where effects need to be timed, so it's like, you know, timed just right for the figures. Like if they're getting blasted away, then that way it's syncs up really well. So it's kind of like a plus and minus, you know, pros and cons. Orbital, do you prefer adding the effects over actually filming a stop motion? And words from Warpath. Kapow! Yeah, I do prefer doing the effects just because, for one, it doesn't take as long, or well, I don't know. That can be hit or miss. Sometimes it doesn't take. It depends on the effect. Sometimes I can do the effect faster than the scene was filmed in. It depends. Sometimes it takes me much longer to do the effects than it did to film the scene. I've made an entire scene out of just one frame. A good example of that was in Thanos, where he was standing on the ship. That was just one. That wasn't even a moving picture, a stop motion. That was just one picture of Thanos standing there with his hands behind his back, and I had to green screen him out, put him on the ship, zoom out the camera with the space background and the other ships flying in and everything. So that actually took longer than taking the one picture. So I guess there's not really one set answer because it can go either way. But I will have to say that it takes more patience to do the stop motion, because if you mess up one little thing, you have to start over the shot. Not necessarily start over from scratch, but you may have to start over the shot. Whereas here I have this little undo button, which is nice. So and graphics motion, he actually had a good point as well in one of my first streams, that with the doing the visual effects work, you have instant gratification. You see what the effects are going to look like immediately as you're putting them on, and I kind of like that as well. I like to see how it's going to look, you know, as I'm doing it. So with stop motion, you have to wait till you're done to see how smooth it is. No, Mrs. Bacon, nobody else got that. Please don't kill Air Raid. Yeah, I don't know who survives. That's spoiler territory, so I can't go into that. But it's not like everyone's gonna die. It's just that in our previous Combiner series, usually, you know, somebody gets taken out. So we'll see. Do you have a cut model? If so, will you be using it in future stop motion films or episodes?
Turbo Rabbin, young punk.
What? Cup was just grumpy all the time.
Petro Rabbits.
We do have a figure of Cup. I have the Generations one, but I believe Swagwave has the Titan's Return, the Headmaster one. I don't really know which I like better, because the Generations one had the wheels on the shoulder, and it was kind of weird. The truck mode was like didn't really seem to fit him. It was too old timey. I know he's an old grumpy bot, but it just didn't fit. He needs to be blockier, which is what the Titan's Return one is blockier, but it's like a little bit smaller. I don't like the head as much because it's the Headmaster gimmick.
Turbo Rabbin, young punks. I'll straighten you out yet.
When you make an effect, do you automatically know what color you want? Not always. Sometimes it depends. Like for this right here, Swagwave used a purple colored light every time these guys are meant to be firing their lasers. So it would be weird if I tried to put in like a green laser. You know what I mean? Like that would look really weird if there's purple light around them and then I drop a green laser in there. So sometimes I don't necessarily have a choice. Sometimes I do. And when I do, I just kind of mess around with what looks best. I mean, if it's like a certain energy blast or something that's like well known, you know, of course I'm gonna go with the way it should look. But sometimes I do like to mess around, like give different colored magic spells and stuff. Like when we were doing the Doctor Strange stop motion, I got to do all sorts of weird stuff with those effects, making them different colors. When you watch other stop motions, do you ever recognize the pre-renders, and if so, does it take you out of the moment? Yes. Okay. Well, the first part. Let me answer that in two parts. The first part, do I recognize other pre-renders? Yes. The second part, does it take me out of the moment? Only if it's not well integrated. Like, for instance, if I'm doing what I was showing you earlier with the blend mode, if the blend mode is left really flat, and let me show you something else here. I'll go ahead and get this next energy blast up here. right there. Okay, so for instance, and let me make sure the chat is caught up. Okay, so for instance, sorry, I just wanted to make sure I was caught up on the chat. If I took this effect here and took the blend mode back to normal, and then I have a color change effect. So if I took that off, so this is what the effect looks like by itself with no added changes or effects or anything like that. So if somebody had that dropped in their stop motion just the way that is now, it might take me out of the moment, because not only would I recognize it, but it's like the default setting. There nothing has been changed about it. As far as the size, I do have, of course, I've like shrink it down and it's over here, but you know what I'm saying. But even a simple blend mode, even if they didn't change the color, you can see there just blending it into the scene better. That would not take me out of the moment. Even if I notice like, oh hey, I think that's that repulsor blast pre-render. I recognize that, but it would be, if it was well done, it would be fine, because I recognize, because I've used pre-renders from several different sites, and there's even some YouTube channels that all they do is upload pre-rendered stuff for people to use. So I've seen it a lot because I use a lot of them. But when people use them well, like Counter 656 and Lazalus and stuff, some of the top guys, they use that pre-rendered stuff so well that you can, sometimes you can barely tell. So yeah, going back, as you can see, as I add the hue shift and everything, it almost looks different. Some people may not be able to recognize. That's my hope, is when I use an effect, like when I was talking earlier with the Dragon Ball aura, using it for shockwaves, I'm hoping people didn't even realize that's what the effect was. Yeah, shout out to Phantom Fox. What's up, buddy? You're my favorite Transformers. Thank you, Shadow Fighter. I appreciate that. Hopefully I can maintain the title. Yeah, I won't. I've got the editor open now, so I'll have to get to that in a little bit. BRB.
Transformers, bacon in the skies. Oh yeah.
Alright, I wonder when these guys are going to be done with the laser shooting. Enough already! Alright, we're done. Okay. Just shore all these up so that they're not spilling over into this scene, although I don't think there's anything that is. Yeah, if you guys recognize this guy, the Terracons, I believe they were called. Abominus is what they formed. Yeah, I need Jacoby in here. Alright. Try to save my progress.
I like my Energon shaken, not stirred. Energon Martini, shaken, not stirred. That's Prime. Optimus Prime. Double O Prime.
Hey, welcome back, Alexander. Ah, sorry, I gotta get some water here. Water! Please. Wait, let me do it right. I'm gonna do it. There, now I'm all refreshed. Water! Alright. So, let's see what's happening with this guy here. So now that we're done with the big gunfight scene. I was gonna say gunfire scene. I mean, I guess it is a gunfire scene. Although I'm sure it's not over yet. Now this guy's gonna be firing his lasers. But see, I'm gonna use a different effect for this guy. He's not... That's the other thing too. When you use the pre-rendered stuff, is you try to change it up, because there's a good variety of them. So like, I try not to use the same muzzle flash or the same laser blast. I try to, you know, at least use like 2 or 3 different ones, kind of mix them up, or maybe more. It depends on what's available for the scene that you're working on. But like this guy, like what I'm doing right now is just kind of watching ahead to see if the camera doesn't really seem to be moving. It's just shaking subtly. Okay, and see now when it shifts over to this guy, as you guys notice, I'll leave it on this frame here. You guys can see that the light that Swagwave used for these frames is blue. So that gives me the indicator, because the question was asked earlier, do I choose the color of the effect? So this one, obviously the muzzle flashes and the laser blasts are going to be blue. Or like that, you know, that kind of Cybertron, like bluish teal. And over to the side here, let me make sure I don't get too far behind. Will you be getting, or do you have Chaos on Velocitron set? Oh, I need to check out the Chaos on Velocitron set. I don't know that I'll be getting it, but I want to at least check it out. Nani? And there's the driver. Driver on! Hey, at least it was just because I needed water. It's not like I was hungry and needed some robot jelly. Water! All right, Thundercat. See you later, buddy. Water. All right. So anyway, not to get too distracted here. So on the left of the screen, you can see this is my gigantic list of pre-rendered stuff that I integrate. But like I said, as long as you just blend it in well, you know, make it look a little bit different, and just so that it fits with your scene, it usually doesn't take me out of the moment. And you know, there's only so much out there that's available to people. So unless you are able to make your own from scratch, I'm fine with it. Yeah, you'll get a tease of the Combiner Wars last part when it's ready. I mean, right now we're still literally in the middle of it. Swagwave has only filmed, I think, halfway through, and of course I'm editing. I'm still on the second scene, so we're getting there. Oi, water. I like my water shaken, not stirred. I like to... Wait. It sounds familiar. It sounds like one of the times I was talking to the guys from Crosshairs production, the Ascension cast. It sounds like something that happened in there. Talking about Skyquakes and Lady. All right, so for this guy, for instance, I'm going to use. It looks like this type of blast is what he's currently shooting. Bring it up here. Here we go. So yeah, as you can see, if someone were to just, drop that in, then yeah, I'd be like, oh, I recognize that. And it kind of looks the same. And that's another reason why Swagwave uses these different colored lights to help integrate the effects that I put in, because it makes them look like they're actually happening. They're affecting the environment around them. So there's a lot you can do when using the pre-rendered stuff to make it not stand out as just pre-rendered, and it shouldn't take people out of the moment of your videos. All right. That's all that happened. All right. So what I did now is just add a camera layer, even though I'm not going to be doing any camera movements just yet. But what that allows me to do is with a camera layer on, you can set things to a 3D plane, which drops down this additional rotation options. Like at first you just had the Z rotation, which spins it normally, but I don't want to just spin that 180 degrees, because then the larger part will be on the bottom and it'll look kind of funny. So now that it's a 3D thing, I can flip it like that. And just shrink it down a bit. And get it over into position here. And see, that's like pointing like straight out, but his arm's down a little bit. So I always just try to look for little details just to make it match up with the scene a little bit better. See, that looks more natural, like he's firing down. And so now what I'll do is blend it in with the add option. Instead of normal blend, I'm going to use add. And now that looks like a light source coming out of there. And then under color grading, if I go with hue shift here, shift it to, let's see, 70 is a little bit green. Let's try 140. There we go. 140 looks blue. You can barely. It's very subtle, but see, that's usually what works the best, is subtle stuff. Because it's depending, again, it depends on the look you're going for. If you want something real cartoony, then you want it to stand out and have edges and borders. But if you're trying to blend it in, then so it's just got this subtle blue glow to it, and along with that light that Swagwave added, it's a nice effect for the gunfire. Alright, so looking at it now, as I advance, he's got the light flashing again rather quickly. So instead of this one shot, I use this muzzle flash here that's just a single shot. So I'm going to go back instead and use the more of like a machine gun looking one. What is my favorite Combiner Wars toy? That's tough, because with the Combiner Wars, I used a lot of the third-party add-on kits to make them better. So Minosaur, for instance, I got the perfect effect chest and head and hands and feet, and I even did the whatever that online exclusive whatever he was of the guy with What did they change his name to? I don't know. It was like Breakneck or something. It was something ridiculous. Uh, but yeah, so Wild Rider, I guess, is what he was supposed to be. But so I don't know if you could count like, well, because in its base form, Minosaur was kind of a mess. And then same thing with the Constructicons. I got Devastator, but then I think it was the X2 toys. Was it X2? I'm trying to remember who did the, because I know Perfect Effect did a add-on kit, but I didn't get that one for Devastator. I got one of the other ones because I thought it looked better. So if you count, with the add-on kits, I guess I would have to say Devastator, just because he's gigantic, and with that add-on, it gave him the proper shoulders and arm articulation and proportions. Improved the cab on the cement truck, all that kind of stuff. But if you count just base, like the way it came, without any third-party add-ons or whatever, I would actually have to go with Bruticus. He was the closest without any add-ons, and in fact, I only got the hands and feet, and that was just because I wanted the posable ankle tilt and fingers for the hands. So otherwise, he was the closest by himself to being, the best combiner team, in my opinion. You ever reuse shots but with different dialogue or pre-renders? So far, I don't think so. Most of this stuff is all brand new animation. Like whenever we're filming for a new episode of whatever it may be, Combiner Wars Legacy, whatever it may be, he films all new stuff. Now, if it's say the shot isn't long enough, I might have to loop the footage within a single shot to make it long enough, especially if it's green screen footage, or even in the case of the Thanos shot that I was talking about earlier, where it was just a single shot of Thanos that I could make that as long or short as I wanted to. Then sometimes I'll have to kind of manipulate the length of the shot in that way. Otherwise, every time we do a new episode or video, it's all brand new animation. And the only time I'm reusing effects is if it's the same pre-rendered effect. But I always try to reintegrate it. I never just save like a blue, for instance, this thing right here. I don't save just a blue muzzle flash and go, oh, well, anytime I need a blue one, I'll always just use the original pre-rendered one and edit it in the way that it needs to be. Because what if it's a slightly different shade of blue, and then I add an effect onto a pre-render that's already had an effect added onto it, it might start to degrade the quality. So I don't know. That may not be the best method. Some people might be saying, well, you can just do it. That's just the way I do it. I'm waiting for that 2.3K to say 2.3 mil. Hey, thank you, Phantom Fox. That's it. I like that ambition. Breakneck, yeah. I was kind of surprised they used that name for him. That's kind of the imagery on that name. It's like, all right. How many Transformers do I have? Last time I counted, which was a while ago, even though I haven't necessarily been collecting like I used to, because that's why I counted a while ago, because back then I was collecting like all the time. I had somewhere around 100 figures. It was a little over 100. It was like 104 or something like that. But since then, I've slowed down on the collecting, and I've only gotten some things here or there. So it's probably not much larger than that. No, it's probably like 120 or something. And it may not even be that, because I've sold some stuff too. So yeah, I don't have an exact number for you, unfortunately. Who was the most annoying or saddest character death from G1 that you can remember? Well, the most annoying was the in the third season, Danny. He was pretty annoying in the movie too, and Wheelie. I don't like rhyming characters, even though I catch myself rhyming by accident all the time. Like I'll be texting people, be like, "So, what do you want to do?" "Oh, me too." "Oh man," it's like rhyming and stuff. But rhyming characters in cartoons are usually pretty annoying. So Wheelie, and then Danny was a pretty annoying little kid character. I thought it was cool that they had Spike grow up over, throughout the duration of the show, but I would have liked if they just kind of stayed focused on him. I didn't need the kid. Saddest death. I mean, you got Optimus Prime, of course, and you're saying G1 specifically. So for G1, it would have to be Optimus Prime, just because he was the saddest death in that one. Because all the others were like Ultra Magnus. It's almost like you knew he was coming back, because they were on the junk planet and they already put other people back together. So. Which, of course, people were like, well, then why didn't they just go put Optimus back together? I don't know. You like the Prime Wars trilogy toy line? It's alright. I mean, it's got some good stuff, but then it's got some not so good stuff. I think, if I'm correct on this, that's the toy line where they have those weird like little armor pieces that attach on. Like that's supposed to be the gimmick, I guess, is the weird like prime armor, whatever they call it. And I'm not digging that. But some of the figures look cool. I haven't really, like I was just saying, I haven't really been collecting as much, so I haven't gotten much of the new toy line. The last few Transform figures I got were back from the tail end of Titan's Return, like Perceptor and what were the small ones? The Insecticons. Nope. Missed a spot. Have you seen the version 3 Masterpiece Optimus Prime? Yes, I have seen it. It's interesting what they're doing with that one, because I know they're trying to make it look like the proportions that he had in the cartoon, but it's just I don't know, something just seems a little off to it, off to me. Yes, Bucky Barnes, that is exactly what it is. It's the finale of our Combiner Wars series. That is indeed what I am editing. Whoop. Keep going too far ahead there. I like this shot right here. I am out of here. I have a Hot Rod and Cyclonus
Actually, I changed it to Shadow Fighter Autobot model, which came with the Matrix, but I lost that, and now I have a broken hot rod.
Oh, I know that 2-pack you're talking about, the Hot Rod and Cyclonus. I got that same thing, because yeah, the Matrix that it came with was pretty nice. Yes, we are going to do a sequel or follow-up series. I don't know if we're going to call it Titan's Return, because if we try to do another series based on that toy line, because they're already starting to get ahead of us. Because when we started this Combiner Wars series, the toy line was current, and of course now there's several, or at least a couple anyway, toy lines ahead of us. So I don't know that we'll do a full series just on Titan's Return, but we will be doing a follow-up series that will continue on in this sort of universe. I guess you would almost kind of compare it to the IDW universe, because that's what a lot of the toy line was based on. It did, or at least crossed over with, was the comics. That's what the stories were coming from and everything. So what we're going to end up going into is sort of a more comic focused storyline, where it's going to be integrating characters from all of the recent toy lines, and kind of going off on its own story like that, similar to like More Than Meets the Eye. I like this, how this guy's just time to go.
But that cows.
Uh-oh. He's got shoulder cannons. Oh, looking good. Yep. He's firing. Okay, what do I want the muzzle flash's ram to look like? Not the same. Hey William, welcome to the stream. Who will voice Bumblebee and Shockwave in Transformers Cyberverse? I'm not sure. I don't know that they've announced any of the voice actors yet. Or at least that was the last I haven't really looked into it in a couple days, but yeah, the last I heard, I don't think they had announced any of them. So I'm not sure. There we go. Looking good. Now I want to duplicate it down here. There we go.
You guys plan on doing another classic style G1 series like Combiner Wars in the future?
Yeah, it's basically like I was saying before. It's going to kind of go off in the direction like the comic books did, where it's going to be pulling in characters from all the recent toy lines, with of course a heavy influence from G1 and past stories like that. But we're going to kind of go off in our own direction and tell a story. But we definitely have some plans for after this. Run, slingshot! The shark is after you! Dun-dun, dun-dun. See, that works perfectly. Now the blasts are alternating. I don't even have to do anything.
Which sound wave is your favorite out of the entire Transformers series?
Well, I'll always love G1 Soundwave. He's gonna be my favorite. I mean, I love all the Soundwaves, but G1 is gonna be my favorite. Yeah, that's definitely an Ascension Cast joke. I remember. Alright, let's do this one here. It's duplicated. It's a shark with laser mounted. Uh-oh. The other one didn't go off. Right here.
Have you ever watched these shows? Supernatural, iZombie, Flash, Arrow, etc.
I've seen like a little tiny bit of Supernatural. I never really watched iZombie. I saw some of Arrow and Flash, but it's it's a lot of shows to keep up with. You know, there's always like so much going on. So I don't keep up with them. I've seen them. It's like, yeah, you know, they're good. I see why people like them. They haven't been enough, I guess, to grab me and make me want to keep watching. It's just every now and then I'll check them out, and you know, of course, people will tell me about them. Malik's back for a little bit. All right, welcome back, buddy.
How would Megatron react to knowing that he played an Autobot in the Transformers Time Wars?
Yeah, that's I found that interesting when they did that in the comics as well, when he joined the Autobots, and I don't know, it takes some getting used to for me. So I don't know how, if like past Megatron, you know, before he had gotten to the point where he made the decision to join the Autobots, and he was still, you know, in his mind, it was just incomprehensible if he crossed paths with his future self. Yeah, I can only imagine he would lose it.
What are you thinking?
Probably take the Autobot symbol, just like rip it off, like ripping somebody's like name tag off. Battle Frame. When is the next live stream of Swagwave? I don't have a date for it yet. We definitely are planning to do another one. He had a lot of fun, and it seemed like you guys enjoyed it as well. Of course, I had a lot of fun. So. And it was a good informative stream. Like, we got to answer a lot of you guys' questions, and then once we finally figured out the reaction, how to get the videos to play, even if they were a little bit laggy, you know, it was a lot of fun doing that. So we are going to do another one. I just don't have a date for it yet, but as soon as we do, I'm going to announce it ahead of time, because that was the other thing that I felt kind of bad about. We just kind of started. I think we announced it like an hour or something before it was going to happen, or I don't even remember, because we only planned it a few days ahead of that Saturday. So we'll give you guys plenty of heads up, but I am going to have All Hail Megatron 1000 on an upcoming stream, so which I believe will be this Saturday. So I know there's some fans of his in here as well, so we'll be doing kind of a similar thing where we'll talk about his recent stuff and then do some reactions and have some fun.
Alexander, can you do a Soundwave impression?
I can do an impression of the voice that's under the Soundwave effects, because you know he's got all those crazy effects. It's called a vocoder, and it's that's what gives him that weird kind of like sing-songy, almost like music sound to his voice. So there's no way to replicate that without, you know, putting it into some audio software. But the voice that he does underneath, that Frank Welker does, underneath that effects for Soundwave is basically his Dr. Claw voice, you know, where it's like, next time, Gadget. So whenever he's doing the lines for Soundwave, it's like, yes, Lord Megatron. And then they put the vocoder effects on top of that, and that's where you get that weird, distorted, awesome Soundwave voice.
I'm dying from that. What are you doing? Rips the...
Don't fall for that nonsense. Heroic nonsense. It's the worst kind.
Of all the nonsense, heroic nonsense.
You're a disgrace to the Decepticons. Yeah.
You know, that would actually be a funny stop motion for somebody to do if they got, because I think that it was either the Combiner Wars or the Titans Return Megatron that was based off his design in the comics. And if somebody slapped an Autobot logo on that figure and then used like Masterpiece Megatron or something, you know, something that was very clearly G1 Megatron, that would be a pretty funny stop motion to have them arguing back and forth. I'd get a kick out of it. Alright, so slowly getting through this shark firing after the aerial bot. There we go. Shorten that up. We don't need these spilling over into the scene. Alright, so let's see what happens next here. Look at him hopping along. Oh, okay, and he's got like a shoulder cannon that comes up. That's pretty cool. I'll see, for something like that, especially with how intense the light changes, I want to go back to using those repulsor blasts, even though I was using what kind of word is that? Even though I was using them before, it was because the size of those laser cannons that they were firing was so huge. So it's like, all right, let me give them these giant laser blasts instead of just muzzle flashes. But this guy, look at this little like gremlin guy with this giant shoulder cannon, and the light's so intense that it's like, oh, I kind of want to give him a giant laser blast and just make him ridiculous. Otto, welcome to the stream.
Even in death, there is no command but mine.
Yeah, the Hugo Weaving Megatron, that was great.
It's just you and me, Prime.
What is Blot meant to be?
I don't know.
Hopper Doom Death. His name is Gremlin Hopper.
Alright. Do I not have a... Oh, that is the slight forward one. Okay. Usening. Hashtag the usening. Yes, I approve. Like Megatron needs his giant dark energon saber, the Dark Star saber, and he's like knighting him.
I dub thee Gremlin Hopper.
My power just got drained from 100. That's no good. Poor Bumblebee. Madness, I tell you.
Stop fooling yourself, Bumblebee.
Bumblemus Prime. Whoa there, I missed a spot. That does look cool. Gremlin Hopper packs a punch. Bob, you made it. Welcome, Bob. Glad you could make it.
Bumblebee.
Oh, that's a classic line. Alexander, bringing back memories. What a classic line.
Bumblebee, get the chips. With extra cheese. No matter the cost. I must have my cheese. The Matrix demands it.
He just Gremlin Hopper fires bumblebees. He just fires bumblebees out of his arm cannon. This guy he's my new favorite character.
The Matrix demands cheese. It is the end of times. It is the usening.
Seriously though, this guy keeps firing his laser. Like I said, whenever I edit these, it seems like it goes on forever, but then when I play it back, it's just a quick scene. So I can't get ahead of myself. But I don't see any other lights going off, so I guess he's done. You're done, Gremlin Hopper. Back to this guy. I have a feeling that combiners are going to start combining soon. Something tells me that's what's coming up. Yep, look, you can just tell he's looking around like, alright, buddies, all of my friends, let us combine. Sailor Bot is best bot. Or Sailor B. What's Optimus's thoughts on pizza rolls?
What are these pizza rolls that you speak of? They sound delicious. Are they full of cheese? Bumblebee, get me some pizza rolls, no matter the cost.
But Prime, the shop says they're out of chips with extra cheese. Prime doesn't even say anything. He just kind of glares at Bumblebee for a minute and then shoots like over his shoulder. Like Bumblebee thinks he's gonna get shot, but he doesn't. He shoots over his shoulder and blows up the shop for not having the chips with cheese.
I told you this was serious. The Matrix demands pizza rolls. I must have them.
Whoa, did he just shoot a fireball out of his mouth? Did you guys see that? I mean, you wouldn't have seen the fireball, but the lighting cue. Is that what this guy does? Shoots fireballs? Did I see that right? Yes. Oh, this is amazing. That's awesome. I might have to make a fireball. I mean, I might be able to use this energy ball. I don't know. But that's great. Optimus reacts to Bumblebee.
It's about time. I've been telling them that needs to happen for years. And finally, they listen to me.
Sailor B is best scout. Yes.
They have lots of cheese.
It has to be weird to be a combiner. Like, does everyone pick straws on who is what? Like,
yeah, I wonder if they're assigned it. You know, as kind of like when they get their alt mode. Like your alt mode, you turn into a Jeep, but you're also the right leg. Oh man. And I've wondered that as well. They kind of explored it in the comics, like how the brain works. You know, who's in control. I always just assumed that once they all combined, there was a, you know, the combiner basically had like his own spark, and you know that's why his voice would change and he would refer to himself as the combined, you know, as Bruticus or Devastate, you know.
wouldn't you hate to be the crotch piece?
What was it? I think it was Bruticus, where parts of Blast Off formed the chest and crotch. It was either him or one of them, but yeah.
It's hard for Transformers to look intimidating in pink.
Yeah. Yeah. We can try, though.
We can try.
Ironhide, OMG Prime, you said we won't harm humans, and yet you just did. Oh, Bumblebee is eating your pizza rolls.
Bumblebee, if you ate the pizza rolls, We're going to rumble. Get ready to rumble.
Whoa! A little too much. I like this one because it has kind of a, like this point on it, like I can line it up and make it look like it's being fired from his beak. Line that up a little bit better. There we go. Yes.
I'm sorry, Slingshot, you have been replaced. Alpha Bravo.
Oh, Alpha Bravo. That was the helicopter I was thinking that they called Blades. Yeah, it was Alpha Bravo. Oh, Wild Rider. I don't know why that thing was made an exclusive or whatever. I wish they hadn't done that. It was pain trying to get that thing.
It was Grimlock. It was Grimlock all along.
It was me, Grimlock, Austin. It was me, Grimlock, all along. Yeah, you know, if Bumblebee's already yellow, if Optimus put him through a cheese grater.
Bumble cheese. Tonight's pizza topping, bumble cheese. Shredded bumble cheese. Find me these pizza rolls.
They hold the key to everything. Whoops. Let's start right there. Whoops. There we go. There. Now that sort of blends in and gives it more of a blast. There we go. Perfect. Oh wait, he fires another one. Okay. So the nice thing about this, we can just duplicate these two, move them down. There we go. Yep, that works. Plot twist. Prime ate the pizza rolls, and he's just being a jerk.
Maybe if I keep yelling at Bumblebee, no one will notice that I ate all the pizza rolls.
I can see. Yes, Miss Vegan. I can see Bumblebee is like clearing in the corner of the room as Optimus is just like walking towards him.
Slowly, step by step.
Yeah, Bumblebee is he knows. Oh no.
Starscream, I have a mighty need!
Oh.
My business is done.
Oh, Bob. That was some good stuff. The Rodimus Senpai, yeah, that was some good stuff, Bob. Okay, so it's just those two fireballs. Let's see if we can add a little... I want like a little smoke blasting out since it is supposed to be a fireball. I wonder if I can add a smoke trail. That would be cool. Let's find out. Here we go. Whoops, not on this one. There's the, there we go. Okay. Yeah. There we go. And rotate that out there. Okay, and then if I turn that back on, so now it should be kind of like a smoke trail after the little fireball. Excellent. Excellent. Bumblebee is everyone's scapegoat. Now, if something goes wrong, blame it on him. Poor Bumblebee.
Not really.
I love all the Zim talk. Yes. Cheese of evil. But Optimus, it wasn't me.
You already are leading the Autobots, Bumblebee. Haven't you seen the new show?
Plot twist. Shockwave had secretly stolen a few of Blaster's cassettes and turned them into pizza rolls.
I love how Blaster's cassettes are needed for pizza rolls. I like how everyone just started giving you lines to do the weirdest scenarios. Yep. This is what it has devolved into. No, it's hilarious. It happens. I really like this little, it's like a subtle little smoke trail that comes behind the fireball. I really like that. I like it. I like it. Alright, so let me... duplicate. There we go. Yeah, that now it has more of kind of a, like, this is the little energy blast shape, and then it's got a little trail that comes behind it. So mix it up a bit. Fetch me my Twinkie.
Bumblebee, fetch me my Twinkie. Cream filling that can survive a nuclear blast. That's what I need.
Yeah, Optimus, he paid off Shockwave to make him some pizza rolls, but he didn't care how it was done. So Shockwave, being insane, mad scientist.
Shredded bumble cheese.
Now there's a twist. What a twist!
M. Night Megatron. What a twist!
Giving you the most weirdest line of all time while doing your Optimus impression.
Oh, I don't know. That I mean, it's a good question, but because there's always so many random ones, so there's not really one that sticks out above all the rest. I mean, my personal favorites are ones that are real out of character for Optimus, because it's just funny to hear him say stuff that he would never say, which is why I kind of do the you know, kind of be me to Bumblebee thing or whatever, because it's just so out of character. He would never actually do it, so it's just fun to joke around like that. I don't even know what a Twinkie is.
Well, neither do I, but they're delicious.
Waffles! Oh no, I am out of water! Alright, give me a second, guys. We'll be right back. Alright, I have returned. Had to completely refill the water bottle. Can't believe I went through that much already.
For Primus' sake, Bumblebee, stop interfacing with the toaster. No wonder the waffles are messed up.
But Prime, waffles aren't made in the toaster.
Shut up, you don't know.
Yeah, Bob, that was awesome. The the discovery that Cyberverse Bumblebee is basically Sailor Moon, and Hot Rod is his tuxedo mask.
Madness, madness, I tell you.
Alright, so looks like those fireballs that were just shot are raining down. Oh! Dun dun dun. Yeah, that was awesome. That was good stuff, guys. All right. This is cool. This little two-headed gang. No, don't give him any sort of cannons. He doesn't need it. It's fine.
Just wanted to show him my cannons. Shockwave has mastered his latest invention. He's sending them out all over the planet.
I don't know about you guys, but I just got my first Terracon in the form of Ripper Snapper.
Yeah, how do you like them? Terracons look pretty cool. The combined form is really nice too. The Abominus is pretty awesome. Oh, he's eating him. He's eating him. Oh no. Oh, and then the cannon on his back rotates around, blasting more Autobots back there. Let's see. Mini Magnus. Mini Magnus. Okay, so it looks like here we start to get some combiner sequences as far as them actually combining. So for these, they're not as FX intensive, you know, it's not like there's a whole lot of stuff going on. Usually I'll just put some subtle camera movements, maybe a camera shake or something when they're locking into their next form, just to make it feel like they're heavy. Sometimes I'll put like little electrical accents. I remember in one of the previous Combiner Wars episodes, I think it was the one where Galvatronus was the first time that he was combining. I put some like little electrical accents on the Stunticons that he was subjugating into his limbs. And so I might do something like that here, where there's just a few little like sparks or electrical accents as they combine and get into the new forms. Now definitely when the limbs connect, I'll definitely add some sort of like spark or camera shake, just to make, you know, extra impact for when those limbs form onto the torso. And as you can see, Swagwave's already done some camera movements here. He's already done some panning. There's times like that where sometimes it works better for him to do that. Sometimes like in this case, it might have actually been better for him to form it, you know, at a wide angle with the camera far back, and allow me to zoom in and pan up just to make it smoother. Because I'll go back and show you what'll end up happening sometimes. Is see right there how it kind of went off to the side. It didn't really go up in a straight line. Let's do that again. See, it's kind of all over the place. So yeah, sometimes it's better just to film things back at a wide angle and do the camera movements digitally in post-production. Sometimes it's better just to do it with the camera. You know, with stop motion it varies. I mean, obviously if you're filming an actual thing, then do it with the real camera. But with stop motion it can vary because it just depends on the look you're trying to achieve.
Have you heard of the group Team Trainwreck? And if not, you should listen to their G1 Soundwave. It's amazing.
Oh, okay, awesome. You finally see combining.
Yes, it is time for combining.
The stream is all of a sudden getting really laggy. Is that just me? It might be.
I wonder if it's my connection. Because I'm starting to see that on my screen as well. It's telling me that the stream signal is getting poor.
Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, Prowl's just running around on the ground while everyone else is combined. Yeah, it may. I apologize for the lag, guys. It may be my signal. I got a the red light popped up for a second on YouTube saying that the stream signal was weak. So I'm gonna give it a second and hopefully it'll catch up here. Because yeah, I wanted to show some combining, but like I said, there's not too much effects to be added. This is something I'm gonna these little sequences here are gonna be something I work on when I get to the camera movement part. I still want to go back and touch up some of the effects from that gunfight, add in a few more lasers flying across the screen just to make it seem a little more chaotic. And once I'm done with all that, then I'll go back through and add camera movements. And that's what's going to be the most work intensive part of this particular sequence, is all the camera movements. Yeah, I noticed the quality shifted and everything. I'm wondering if that's because I was trying to just let the scene play, and for whatever reason, whenever I try to have a video play on the stream, it kills it. I guess, I don't know if it's my bandwidth or if that's something that, you know, maybe it's my computer. I'm not really sure. I'm trying to get it fixed because I want to be able to play some of these sequences once they're done for you guys, and of course, like on Saturday when Swagwave was in here, we wanted to be able to react to the videos and have them playing on the screen. So I don't know if it's a YouTube thing, if it's my internet, or if it's my computer, but something is affecting it, so I do apologize. I know that's frustrating.
But hopefully, no, it's Optimus trying to take control of the stream, looking for more pizza rolls.
Yeah, Optimus is upset he didn't get any pizza rolls, so he's like,
Oh, you want to see what happens? I'll show you what happens. I'll crash the stream. See how you like it.
hey, Gremlin Hopper becomes one of the feet. How appropriate. You can give Abominus hopping powers. Gremlin Hopper becomes one of the feet. I do really like the Abominus combiner. I haven't had a chance to get any of the Terracons or of course, you know, have the combiner in hand, but he just looks so awesome. Alexander, all right, I'm glad it's staying decent quality for some people. I know I was having lag issues on Saturday when Swagwave was in the stream. Last night it worked fine when we were reviewing the Cyberverse stuff. It was fine, but I guess it's starting to act up again. Yeah, Optimus is walking around the apartment. He like tripped over the modem.
Oh, my bad. My bad. Look, you're still connected. It's fine. 144p, that's fine. Don't even worry.
That's something else that needs to be animated into stop motion, like the two Megatrons, like future Megatron and past Megatron arguing with each other. We need to have Optimus just messing with the production behind the scenes. He's walking around looking for pizza rolls. He's picking on Bumblebee. He trips over the cord, and now the stream's lagging. It's like Orbital Bacon behind the scenes. I'm already doing a behind the scenes stream. It's behind the scenes of the behind the scenes stream. Optimus walking around just messing stuff up.
My bad, my bad.
Oh yeah, Gremlin Hopper, he's awesome. If we had gotten that name sooner, I would have told Swagwave that he needs to integrate some sort of kick attack with Gremlin Hopper once they're combined, since he's the foot, he's the left foot. But I will probably go ahead and wrap up the stream right here, just because, as I was talking before, a lot of these sequences with the combiners is going to be mostly camera work. I might put in some sparks and some lightning here and there, but a lot of this is going to be once I get to the camera work portion of editing, and I'm just not quite there yet. So I'll probably go ahead and wrap up the stream. It's been a little over 2 hours anyway, so there's only so much craziness anyone can take. But I'll definitely be back on Thursday. I've got my regular stream schedule set up for now at Tuesdays and Thursdays, but every now and then I like to play around with a random stream, like I did one last night. I might do one on, well, it looks like I am going to do one on Saturday with All Hail Megatron 1000. So we'll kind of see how that goes. But if you guys have any suggestions for stream times as far as the schedule goes, if you're more available later at night or earlier in the day, or you want me to stream, more days of the week, I'd love to hear some feedback from you guys. And of course, I really appreciate you hanging out in the stream. It's always awesome having you guys in the chat. You make it worthwhile. You make it worth doing. So this has been great. This has been fun. So I appreciate you guys, and I will be back on